Hey guys, so today we're going to work more with area of a triangle, but we're going to work on some challenge problems. So now that you know how to find the area of a triangle, we're going to use it. We're going to use your knowledge of the area of a triangle to find the area of the shaded region for each of these problems. Now they're all going to be very different. So it's really important that you use your critical thinking skills here and your problem solving skills. Don't just, they're not all going to be the same. So don't just say, okay, how do we solve these problems? What are all the rules? I want you to really look at each problem and think about what you know, what you don't know, and what we can use. So make sure you have your notebook out and that you are copying all of this down. So for our first example here, I see we have like this rectangle, and the shaded region is obviously a triangle. So, I mean, the first thing that I would ask myself always is, do we know the base or the height of the triangle to make this nice and easy for us? Well, I guess if I was looking at this, I could maybe even turn it sideways so it's easier to see. I would say that this line down here would be the base, and the height, I guess, would be here, 20 meters. But it doesn't tell us what the base is, so does that mean we just can't do anything? No, this is where our critical thinking and our problem solving skills come into play. So I see that this part right here is worth 7. But what I want to know is what this part is, because this is the base of the triangle. Is it possible to figure this out based on the information given to us? Well, I would say so. What do we know about rectangles? If this side is 40 meters, what does this side have to equal in total? Also 40 meters. But we know this part is 7. So that means this purple part of the side plus the 7 all together have to equal 40. So to figure out the base of this triangle, I could do 40 minus 7. What's 40 minus 7? My base is 33 meters. Right? Because 33 plus 7 equals 40. So this has to be 33. Even though it doesn't say it, I can figure that out just from looking at the picture. So now I actually do know the base and the height of this triangle. So to figure out my area, I do what I know how to do. Area equals half times the base, which we know is 33, times the height, which is 20. So I'm going to multiply all of that. We're going to do, I personally would do 33 times 20 and then times 0.5, but you can do it in whatever order you want. But we're going to get the answer 330 square meters. That is your answer. We can make that nice and bold. Okay, so the problem didn't necessarily tell us the base and the height, but we were able to figure it out. Let's try another one. All right, so again, I want to find the area of the shaded region. I see 2 triangles here, and just to make it easy for us, I'm going to call them triangle 1 and triangle 2, just so that you know which one I'm talking about. So I see again, it's in this rectangle. I see that the width of the rectangle is 12. I also see these little tick marks here. Does anybody know what these tick marks mean? It means that the length of this, let me highlight it for you. The length of this line and the length of this line and any line with a tick mark, they are all congruent. That's what the tick marks mean. Congruent means equal. So if they have a tick mark, that means that this length is the exact same as this length, and it's the exact same as this length, and the same as that length. They all have tick marks, so they're all equal to each other. So that's really important, and that is going to help us. Why is that going to help us? Because you see that the width of this entire rectangle is 12. But then it's broken up into 2 equal parts of the same length. If you have to break 12 into 2 equal parts, that's like saying 12 divided by 2. So how much do each of these lengths represent? They're each 6. That's a 6 and that's a 6, which means this would be 6, which means this length would also be 6, which means this length would also be 6. Sorry, my 6s are funny. Okay, that's really helpful. Now let's see if we have the height and width of these triangles. So for triangle 1, I see that the base is 6. Okay, that's good. And the height of the triangle is this, from bottom to top, straight up with that right corner, is 12. Nice, we got it. And then I see that my base of triangle 2 is 6, and the height of triangle 6 is 6. Okay, so we have the base and the height for both triangles. Let's put it all together. I want to find the area of the shaded region in total. So we got to find the area of both of the triangles and add them together. So the area of triangle 1, let's do triangle 1 first. The 1/2 times the base, which is 6, and then times the height is 12. So the area of triangle 1, 6 times 12, we know is 72, and then divide that by 2 is 36. So 36 square centimeters. And this was triangle 1. Now triangle 2, we can do down here. So triangle 2, area equals 1/2 times the base, which we see is 6, times the height, which we see the height of the triangle 2 stops right here, so it's also 6. So we know 6 times 6 is 36, and then 36 divided by 2 is 18. So the area of triangle 2 is 18 square centimeters. So now I want the total area of the shaded region, because that's what the problem is asking for. So my total, I'm going to put it over here actually. My total, well, it's triangle 1 plus triangle 2. So I'm going to do 36 plus 18, and that will give me a total area of 54 square centimeters. So that is my answer for this problem. The area of the shaded region is 54 square centimeters. So I did this one by finding the area of triangle 1 and the area of triangle 2, and those tick marks were super helpful. Let's do another one. All right, so I don't see a lot of numbers on this one, but I do see a lot of tick marks, which is definitely going to help us. So I see in this rectangle, we have the 2 shaded triangles. I don't know if we have the base or the height of either one of them yet. All right, so let's go through and see if we can fill in any missing numbers. Well, the length of this side is 24 feet, which means the opposite side also has to be 24 feet, but it's broken up into 2 equal parts. 24 divided by 2, that means this part has to be 12, and this part has to be 12. And these have 1 tick mark, so that means every other side that has 1 tick mark will also be 12. So this line right here is 12. This line right here will be 12. This line up here is 12. And that's it. Okay, and now we have 2 segments, 1 and 2, and they both have 2 tick marks, which means they're going to be equal to each other, but they're not each 12. They're a different number. So now we're going to figure that out. Well, I see that the 2 of them together are opposite of this 12, which means together they're going to have to equal 12. But we're going to have to divide it in 2 again because there's 2 parts. So if all of this together has to equal 12, then that means they each equal 6. So now I have all these sides filled in. Let's see if we can try to figure out the base and the height of the triangles, of the shaded triangles. Now I'm going to call them triangle 1 and triangle 2 just to make it easier for us. All right, triangle 1, I see, I'm going to put a 1 here. I see that for triangle 1, the base is this part right here, it's 6. Okay, and then the height of the triangle, well, here's my right corner. If I go straight up from the base, it's this line, 24. So I do have the base and the height for triangle 1. If I do 6 times 24 and then divide that in half, my area for triangle 1 is 72 square feet. Now triangle 2, let's see. So 1/2 times the base, which, what would the base be in triangle 2? I'd say it would be this line. It's just that the triangle's upside down right now. Well, this line is 24 feet. It's equal to this line. So my base is 24. And my height, what would be the distance? If this is the base, the height would go down to here. So do we know the length of this line? If we started at the base and went to the top? Yeah, it's 12 right here. So I'm going to multiply 1/2 times 24 times 12. And you should get the answer 144 square feet. So now to get the total, which is super important, total area, let me move this over. We're going to add the area of both shaded triangles. So 72 plus 144, 144. And if we add those two together, we get the answer 216 square feet. So that is